your last name, da, 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 da. And it's so stupid because if you just sat there and listened and let the silence be there. I mean, we say it in scenes all the time.
Yep.
That silence is golden. And us as human beings, we get this like anxiety when we feel like we're not talking. And it's so interesting. So I challenge you guys all, the next time you're on the phone or you're talking to someone and you're trying to find something, like notice the little bit of like pitter patter that goes on in your heart, which is completely silly. Because if I just said like, Jenna, hang on a second, you would have no problem waiting for me for 15 seconds while I figured out whatever I was doing. But then instead, I'm gonna go da 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 A B C, and like, it's why am I doing that? Like,
who knows?
just throwing life lessons at y'all.
We are up. We are live. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody watching online. We are ready to rock. So Shay, we got that order set up and everything.
Did you send me an order today?
I believe it's the same one. Just scroll down. Same document.
Oh, just scroll down. Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. I will get it set up, and we are going to have Jonathan and Jenna go first. I am going to send everybody out into the lobby, and Jonathan and Jenna, you guys just hang tight for me.
Okay.
Great, guys. So it's going to be an awesome night for everybody as we go back and start watching the live. You'll see me talking about this there. We're basically going to go through. I might stop and go with certain scenes. I may not. But the main focus is going to be giving you an opportunity to take what we learned last week about our 4 angles and execute on that. So hopefully all of us have gotten a chance to work it with our partners a little bit. We'll talk about what your who, what, where was within your situations. A lot of us have ambiguous scenes, so we'll talk about that. And then we'll just continue to go through the scenes, and depending on each scene, we'll develop and work on it exactly based on what that scene specifically needs. So we'll talk through that and fix that for each one. If you have an A-B scene or an ambiguous scene, when we come in, before we perform, I want to get the situation from you. Either partner can give that to me of exactly what you guys have decided is happening. So the who you are to each other, what's going on, and where you're located. So you guys can bounce back and forth to do that, but we'll go through sort of everybody to make that happen. So that's what we'll be doing there. Super psyched. So Jonathan and Jenna, while everybody's getting pulled out, why don't you fill me in? What is your situation that you guys came up with?
Well, we decided that it's a 20-year high school reunion.
Yeah.
And basically the situation
sorry, did you say
that
10 there, Jonathan?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I was asking.
Go
Did
ahead,
you say
Jenna.
10?
Go ahead, Jenna.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically their situation is that in high school, my character and his character had really strong feelings for each other, but they never actually dated. Like, it never actually happened. But the situation was so, like, shit went down, and it basically, like, they couldn't work it out, and it just, like, ruined their entire senior year, and their whole friend group split apart because of it, and it was just, like, this huge thing. And so now they're at this reunion, and I think my character probably wants to avoid him, but he approaches her, and then that's where the scene starts.
Okay, I love it. All right. So
do you have anything to add, Jonathan?
No, that's about it.
Okay.
Perfect. Whenever you guys are ready, you can begin.
Oh, hold on a second.
No problem. Take your time.
Oh, wait. Where's Jonathan? I can see him.
Right here. Do you see me?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Sure has been a while.
Oh, goodness. Hi there. Nice to see you.
You haven't changed one bit.
Oh, stop it. Of course I have.
No, really. It's like you're exactly the same.
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm
What's
so
that?
sorry. Go ahead.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I just simply meant that you're just the same as I remember you.
Well, thank you, I think.
Can I ask you a question?
Depends on what you're asking, I suppose.
Do you remember it?
I'm sorry. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, come on. You remember.
I prefer to look ahead, not behind.
Ah, that's the mind I remember.
Like I said before, those days are long behind me. I have an entire new life now.
Of course, of course. I'm sorry to be so nosy. Stuck in the past, I guess.
We all live there sometimes. We're human.
Do you ever think about going back?
Every now and then I do, but then I really think about it. I don't think I ever could go back.
Why not?
Don't play that card. You know why.
I'm really glad you showed up tonight. I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
Me neither, but here we are.
So, why did you come tonight?
Why did you?
See,
Woo! Okay, guys, how'd it feel?
good. Really good.
Really
It
good.
felt Yeah.
Okay, tell me about it, Jenna.
I think I think it was pretty good for like our first time really performing it. I think in some parts maybe the thought life could be a little stronger, but I kind of liked the way we mapped it out. So
Yeah.
Definitely. And we're going to work some of that actually right now. We're going to go through some of the thought life and break a lot of this down. So starting from the top, I really like the choice on having the drink. Like, I thought that was really great, Jenna. And just sort of both of you kind of dressed up a little bit, but not too much. Like, it's that sort of perfect thing where I could totally see you guys in the space that you've created. So that's awesome. So now I just want to talk a little bit about, we'll break in some of the angles that we can use that we learned last week and add some of that to this. But beyond that, I want to just work the acting side today and really go into the thought life, and I'll talk on different angles. So I'll throw some ideas your way. We may work one or two, and that's for most scenes. But I really want to get into the root of these things because they're great. I mean, I love the ideas. They're so creative. And the whole point of these ambiguous scenes is to take something that is open and bring your artistry to it, to like see things and explore things that aren't given to you, because the only things given in this script in all these ambiguous scenes are just the basics, like the standard ground floor. Here's what's kind of happening, and it's up to the artist to figure out all those small little creative choices like the glass. And so let's start from the top. I just want to work a couple.
I think knowing that stuff will help us use the other two angles too, because when we were rehearsing, we were talking about how like we don't really feel like one of our characters has more power over the other for a big chunk of it, so we didn't really leave like just the up close because that's all we kind of know about them right now.
Sure. And you know, when it comes to the angles, here's the thing. We were teaching all four. We were talking about each one, but one angle isn't going to be your angle the whole time either way. So like even this one, and that's, you're totally right. Once we get into some of the emotions and some of the character stuff, we will discover, we will find what those things are, and we'll build on them. So let's get right into that. Okay, let's start again from the top. Get yourself set. Give me 1 second here. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Wow. Sure has been a while.
Oh, goodness. Hi there. Nice to see you.
You haven't changed
Okay, good. We'll go
one
all the way
bit.
back from the top again. Okay. So first line is what?
Wow. Sure has been a while.
Okay. So how do you guys, let's just talk situation. How do you run into each other here?
We kind of thought that I would have arrived first
Okay.
and kind of just looking around, I guess, taking everything in. And it's one of those things where like I notice him, but wish I wouldn't have noticed him because then he comes to me.
Okay.
That's what we talked about.
Great.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay. So let's go back to the drink. Go back to the whole beginning of this. Okay. Pull it up here real quick. Which number is this one? Do you know?
It's scene 6.
6.
Yeah,
Okay.
scene
Great.
6.
Perfect. All right. Get in the zone. He speaks first. Until he does, I don't want you looking at his direction. Look somewhere
Okay.
else, Jenna. Be kind of like in your own space. You hear the voice. You recognize the voice. It is that same voice, just later in time, right? Just at a different point.
Wow. Sure has been a while.
Oh, goodness. Hi there. Nice to see you.
You haven't changed.
Good, too fast. Do you feel that, Jenna?
Yeah.
Now, that beginning moment, better. That beginning moment was so much better. That whole, like, now he's pulled your attention. Now I don't see you, like, trying so hard to not want to, like, hear him. It's just real. It's just sort of a slow, like, is this who I think it is? Thought life, okay?
Okay.
Jonathan, is it possible for you to be back and come forward a little with your chair? I don't know what your situation is right now for filming.
Not from where I'm sitting.
Okay.
But I could,
So don't worry about it now. Again, blocking's not my concern today.
Yeah.
So for rehearsal, see if there's something you can do where you literally do approach a little. And it doesn't have to be much. Like literally, it could just be a little bit. And that creates for us a framing that we go, oh, okay, clearly he's approaching her and not just like standing right there.
yeah.
Right? Okay. Cool. Let's go from that beginning again.
Wow. Sure has been a while.
Oh, goodness. Hi there. Nice to see you.
You haven't changed one bit.
Oh, stop it. Of course I have.
No.
Good. So what's he saying there? What's he saying there?
Well, I think to me it's like insulting, but I think he's genuinely trying to be like, you look great.
Okay, so don't be insulted right now. Okay, so
Okay.
this is Jenna. How old are you right now?
23.
Okay, so you're 50. Imagine yourself at 50. Okay.
Okay.
And I look at you, and the last time I saw you was when you were 23, and I look at you and I go, you know, you look just like you did the last time I saw you.
Okay.
You can be like, damn, yeah, right? Like, that's awesome. And so there's this sort of like, almost that's where her guard gets down a little, because it's like, you really do, like, you're flattered by that. Like,
Okay.
come on, why do we go to our high school reunions, like, kind of to see people and also to show off a little bit? Like,
Show off.
like that's just, let's just call it what it is, you know? So you're there, that's part of it, seeing people, but she wore this nice dress. She wants people to see that she's successful and she's doing well. And so there's this moment where it's like, you got flattered, great. Then he screws it up by going into the personality side. Then you would get upset.
Okay.
Okay, let's go from the top.
Wow. Sure has been a while.
Oh, goodness. Hi there. Nice to see you.
You haven't changed one bit.
Oh, stop it. Of course I have.
No. Really. It's like you're exactly the same.
Excuse me? What's
Oh.
that? close to me.
Let's go back to it's like you're exactly the same. Jonathan, what are you saying there?
Like, you're exactly the same as I remember you. I'm not. It's because, like, I like her.
Yep. But
So.
the last time you guys spoke, exactly the same. Like, that's becomes offensive because it's like, yeah, you look just the same. That's cute. No, I mean like exactly the same. That's less cute, right?
Yeah.
That's less like, and you're not trying to be, but think about the guy who's bumbling his words and like can't think of the right thing to say. So when you're in your thought life there, you're trying to come up with something you don't, so then you repeat the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take it back just from the first time you said that line, and she gets flattered.
You haven't changed one bit.
Oh, stop it. Of course I have.
No, really. It's like you're exactly the same.
Excuse me?
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I simply meant that you're just the same as I remember.
Well, thank you. I think.
Can I ask you something?
Depends on what you're asking, I suppose.
Do you remember it?
Good. Hold back there for a second. That was great. Good going to the phone. Like, I was about to say, literally, Jenna, I was about to be like, we need a close-up of you. So
Okay.
as you go back, figure out a natural way to get to that, because we talked about this earlier. Shay did right at the beginning. Movement is speaking. So if you're moving, you're speaking. So that includes picking this thing up. That's a line, right? So until you have full control over it, I don't want you speaking unless you're trying to show uncontrol. Unless that's my purpose. My purpose is to show that I'm moving around the room really fast because we're in the middle of a fight. Other than that, I want to have full control over the phone so it's not making sounds, it's not overpowering me, it's not taking away from the line I'm giving, okay?
Okay.
Good.
So basically, I guess, can I use my other scene as an example?
Yes, totally.
For like a camera question? Okay, so like in my other scene, the way that I get closer to the camera is I pull up a chair and I sit down to be like closer face to face with him.
Mm-hmm.
So for this, I need to find a reason like that instead of just walking up, basically.
Yes, and you have one.
Okay.
Do you know what it is?
I don't know. Getting closer to him is just what I thought.
Yes.
Okay.
Jonathan is in a chair.
Okay.
So here's the deal. If I don't want to talk to you, like, I'm not giving you all of my attention. I'm not fully engaging with you. I'm like kind of engaging. So like at a party or something, I might stand and just talk to you. Like, I might do that. If I really wanted to engage and we wanted to sit for a second and get into something, I might grab a chair and sit opposite you so we're at the same level, the same plane. There's something to that, right? And so now there's a reason to do that, a reason to sit, but you want to strategically decide when that would be. When would that moment be? Is it right there? Is it a little bit before there? Like, what point did he soften you up to the point where you sat down and decided to really give him your attention? And then I believe at some point you'll get back up out of the chair. You might go back to the chair. Like, this is very, like, back and forth between you guys because of the history of the scene that you guys have created. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And Jonathan knows this. We've talked about it in Master, because the whole mission is to help people who are going through struggles like the ones he's gone through, and to be a light through what his circumstances are, right? So you want to look at that and go, this is what's happening. I'm not going to pretend that it's not. So what would I do in this situation? Perfect. Let's do it and make it more real. Right? Okay, good. Let's take it back. We'll go like a couple lines back, and then we'll wrap on that.
Okay. Should I stay up close just for now?
Sure. Let's do that.
Okay.
What line do you want me to go back to?
Your choice. Just something like when you're basically inviting her to talk to you a little more about your question, maybe.
Jonathan, do you want to do the "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to offend you"?
There we go. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I simply meant that you're just the same as I remember you.
Well, thank you. I think.
Can I ask you something?
Depends on what you're asking, I suppose.
Do you remember it?
I'm sorry. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, come on. You remember.
I prefer to look ahead, not behind.
Ah, that's the mind I remember.
Like I said before, those days are long behind me. I have an entire new life now.
Of course. Of course. I'm sorry to be so nosy. Stuck in the past, I guess.
We all live there sometimes. We're human.
Do you ever think about going back?
Every now and then I do, but then I really think about it.
Good. Let's
I
go
don't-
back for 1 second. Okay, Jonathan? Love that
Yeah.
line. Okay? Love that connection to her asking it. What do
Yeah.
you want there?
I want her to say yes
Why?
because I like her and I want another chance.
That's right. That's right. So, when we're delivering, this is for everybody. When we're delivering these kind of lines, you look, you connect, and especially one like that, do you think you're going to disconnect in any way until you can see the answer, yes or no, in her eyes?
No.
No. So when she starts talking about something or derailing it somewhere else or whatever, then that's a reason to kind of go away or do whatever. But if I'm asking, like, do you ever think about, like, going back? I really want to know the answer. I'm, like, dying to know the answer. And if I go away for a second, I might miss it.
Mhm.
And those are all the way through this in both directions. And so we went through a lot today. But I think what's going to help you guys a lot is going and continuing to do this. We got it all the way to here. And doing some script analysis. And finding where all those points are. Those thought lives. Because here's the thing. You guys are taking on us on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. That's what's happening. So there's a moment where, like, we think you're going to get together. And then we're like, no. And then we think it's going to be really sweet. And then it's like, no. And it's like, it just keeps going back and forth. He'll say something, then Jenna opens up, and then he says something stupid. Like,
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of Jada and Joey's scene in Masterclass, but without the bell. Like, with two people having to deal with it in real life. If you haven't seen that, I'd go and see that. But that's the idea. Like, he's trying to make something work and figuring it out. And there is that side of her that still likes him, you know? So watching that sort of happen, like, might be the case. Or maybe it doesn't, but she just wants to be sweet. But I think there's probably something still in there, you know? Something.
Okay. See, I was thinking like she's just trying to be nice, but I think it makes more sense for the lines that she's at least curious.
Well, and here's why. For me, within the lines, okay? If you were just being nice, you wouldn't stay in the conversation so long.
Yep. Yeah.
I've seen the person. I used this example yesterday. When you're really, it's a gift and a curse when you learn to as an actor read people, right? So there was I went over to what was it Paradise Juice to just get a drink, right? And there was somebody there that was kind of cute, and I was like, cool. So then I was like, hey, has it like strike up a conversation for a second? And I was like, hey, ASU, that's awesome. Like, and she's like, yep. Or something, and then she said something about it. Like, actually, the conversational note she sent back made sense. She was like, "Yep, just started," or whatever. And I'm like, "That's awesome." Silence, you know. And you look at her eyes, and her eyes are like, "Please stop talking to me. I don't feel like talking." And I'm like, "Cool." if you're paying attention, you notice that thing. Now, if we were in that same situation and that person and in that one, she wants to be nice or whatever, she was super nice. This girl was super nice, but she did not want to continue conversation.
Yeah.
So like, if you did, you get out. Now, I happen to be somebody who got out because I was like, I noticed those things. Some people would stay there, and then she would have to find a reason to leave. And I think that would kind of be the case. That, or you'd have to figure out a reason you're the only two there right now. Completely, you know? So yeah, that's where that comes from. Okay, this is gonna be great, guys. I really like the work you did on it. It's a great situation. Explore some of those some of that blocking and dive into the script analysis.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good work. Good work. Okay. Shay, are you going to be bringing yourself into your scene, to your own scene here?
I sure am. I was saving a pita bread from my dog's mouth. So just give me 1 second.
Oh, okay. All right. So Shay has a dog, and her dog is amazing. Her dog's name is Blue, and Blue is adorable. So just a little fun side note for everybody watching online. Something you really should know about Shay is that she has an adorable dog. So
that's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
It's double duty, you know? I'm not seeing Dakota still. Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Hello. Guys, I gotta say, just to start out before we get going, I'm super psyched about this. Just super psyched. Like, just watching the scene develop through Masterclass, I am a huge fan of this play. Love this scene. I've seen it multiple times, and so very excited to coach you guys through it. Before we go, tell me about where you're at right now, sort of your process since Masterclass and last week, like, so that I know where to coach into.
So I think one of the biggest things about this scene that's both in person and online and through this medium is that these characters have they're both mentally disabled and physically disabled, or my character is, Sheila is slightly, and they live in the minds of about 7 or 8 years old. So they're not thinking of, like, in terms of power play and in terms of angles, if they do those types of angles, they're not thinking about it. Great. So it's not intentional. And so our biggest job and what we've decided through Masterclass is, how do we portray this online to not be rehearsed and to almost not think about it. So how can we think about it as actors and then put it in the mind of an innocent 7 or 8 year old person who's having these types of feelings for the first time.
Okay, great. That totally makes sense. So unless it feels right, I'm not going to touch on angles, kind of same as that last one. There may be a couple moments, and I'll really dive into just trying to help you guys create the relationship that they have. And like you said, it is a total challenge over the phone, like having to create that. And I know Matt talked about the fact that you guys would have needed help with that. There's 2 of you, Shay. There's Dose.
Yes.
And just building on that. So that's perfect. That's perfect. Do you have anything to add there, Dakota?
No, like Shay said, it's just a huge challenge. And today we were talking about, like, the camera angles and stuff like that. And honestly, we came to the conclusion, because a lot of the times people, when you want to hold power over, you do obviously the lower one, or if then someone's like who's a little bit more innocent or nicer, or they feel more intimidated, or hold it up. For our characters, that's not true. No one's holding power over anyone in the scene. We just had to kind of boil it down to their personality. Just, well, what would they do?
Yes.
And my character, he's just a freaking happy golden retriever when he sees the girl he likes, so he's never going to be in, like, a downward, like, angry angle or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was interesting to talk that day.
Yeah, Norman is adorable. Okay. All right. Great. Let's do it. Whenever you guys are ready, you can start your scene.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Norman.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Norman.
Hi, Sheila. My name is Norman Bolonsky. Welcome to my home. Won't you take a seat?
Your home is nice, Norman. It looks cozy.
It used to be better when we had those little rugs. Arnold's got them hid.
Arnold. Ugh. He's not there, is he?
Oh boy, that's all we need. Oh boy.
Arnold.
Oh boy. Can I manage your coat?
I don't have one.
Oh boy.
I got to get off at 9. The bus comes then. It's 7:30 now.
Okay, good. I'm going to start us over. How's it feeling?
Honestly, a little. I don't know why.
A little what?
For me, and I don't know why.
Okay, so one thing from an audience point of view is and I know Matt talked about this in Masterclass, we're losing you, Dakota, in little spots, and it's actually, I think I'm discovering a couple of the whys, okay? So I'd like to experiment with that. It's when we start to move specifically, things like that happen. So remember this, and I know this is the challenge, right? You have to manage the actor brain and the character brain. And in this case, you have to manage the director brain and the character brain. So the director is moving between the different angles and sort of doing that, and the actor is obviously totally in character. So figuring that out, you go to pick it up and move. Do your best for right now. I want to try in this next take to try not to move and talk at the same time as much. So there'll be moments where you sort of move to find a spot, and then you end up right here, and it's there, and just realize you also just need to slow down even more with the diction. But that doesn't need to change the energy. It doesn't have to change how excited he is. That's my own version. Please don't do that. Right? But that's the idea, is like, so Dakota, you are a just giant loving teddy bear guy, and I know Matt talked into that already. So you need to play into that and heighten it, okay? So we're going to do some experimenting here. I want you to really just heighten that, okay? Your positivity even more, okay? We're going to do an exaggerated version and see if we can find some gems here, okay? Shay, on the other end, I want you to heighten her mental handicap a little bit.
Okay.
I can still see your eyes behind her.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what happens. Get curious. This is a huge deal, Dakota. I want you to get into Norman's mind. This is the biggest deal of all time. He's been preparing. Adjust your tie a little bit. Like, get that sort of in the right shape that you think it's supposed to be in. It's wrong, but you think it's right.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want that moment before too? Then?
Yeah, add some things there to like get yourself really into that and try some new things there. And then once you get to position, be in position. And when you move, go to move for specific reasons. We're just going to explore.
Yeah, okay. Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Norman.
Hi, Sheila. Hi, Sheila. My name is Norman Bilonsky. Welcome to my home.
Okay,
Won't
good,
you
good, good.
take a
Do you feel the
seat?
difference already?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
already more fire in the scene. Good. Way to heighten, Shay. Love that. Okay, so now this is a lesson for everybody, no matter what your script is. You have a three-peat there. Okay, Dakota,
Yep.
right? Which means every one of those has to be different. So let's start right from that first line. Hi, Sheila. That's happy. That's excited.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Norman.
Heighten it. Different.
Hi, Sheila.
Heighten it. Different.
Hi, Sheila. My name is Norman Bilon. Welcome to my home. Won't you take a seat?
Your home is very nice, Norman. It looks cozy.
It used to be better when we had those little rugs. Arnold got them hid.
Arnold. Ugh. He's not there, is he?
Oh boy. That's all we need. Oh
Arnold.
boy. Oh boy. Can I manage your coat?
Look for it.
I don't have one.
Oh boy.
Okay, grab your hands like this, Dakota. Okay, and this is just for the exercise, and I want you to go, oh boy, like bounce a little bit. Okay.
Boy.
I gotta get off at 9. That's the bus comes then. It's 7:30 now.
Okay, good. Where did you find out it was 7:30, Shay?
I didn't.
Okay, good. Exactly. So let's go back, because for her, she has this schedule, this routine. Like she has to hit it. She has to hit it.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong camera.
I fully understand that.
So I don't think she wears a watch, but since she's home, I mean, I have a watch on right now, but I think because they specifically say they don't have stuff up on the wall in their home. So originally I would look up at the clock on the wall, but I don't want to put that in there because the script specifically says, she alludes to that later, that they don't have anything on the wall. So I'm wondering if, because she's such a stickler about time, that I just need to make that character choice that she always wears some sort of watch.
Cool. Could totally be that. So, and if not, how would she have known when to go someplace or when to do something?
So I picture Sheila as the type of person that like counts her steps.
Okay.
And, you know, she knows exactly how long it takes to get to every place, because she goes she goes to the same 3 places every day. She goes to the bus stop, she goes to the library where she volunteers, and she goes home. She doesn't really go a lot of other places. So I think she also just knows what time the bus comes, and she knows what time she got on the call or got to Norman's house. So part of me wants her to have that, like that part of her brain is really strong.
Yes.
So her extreme anxiety about time.
I love that. So explore both options. Explore the watch. But then think deep into it. Deep. If that's the case, then what? Right? So if that's the case, then how does she do that? If it's counting words, every word Norman says is 1, 2, 3. Like, you're hearing him, but you're counting how many a typical conversation would do to get you to the bus. Every word he says adds up to 100. Once you hit 100, it's time to go to the bus, right? Or you look out the window every once in a while because you know that there's a certain point where like something comes outside that's going to tell you it's bus time. I don't know what these things are. So
I wonder if there's a way that I can not whisper it, but almost mime it with my, like, I can either make that a physical thing where she counts on her fingers, or maybe she just, like, as she's talking, like, and you know what I mean? Like, she almost says it with her mouth.
Totally.
I'll explore some options on that.
Yeah, explore. That's one of those fun things that we get to play with, because that's a central point to this scene.
Right.
It's a central point to her personality and to moving forward in time. So a lot of the comedy comes.
You're saying, if I have you correctly, I need to arrive at the knowledge that it's 7:30 now.
I can't remember if at the very end of the scene we get there. Do you get where you leave at some point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you
so
get
what
there.
happens is, yeah, the little timer's off.
But it's a mistake. So
Yeah.
what
Your
happens
timer
is
went off.
the whole scene is really, because he sets the egg timer wrong. So the whole scene, the whole, I don't know, 15-minute scene, maybe 10-minute scene, she thinks she's been there for an hour and a half.
Right.
And the egg timer goes off. So that makes her really anxious, and I think that fuels so much of the ending excitement and anxiety from both of them at the end of the scene, because she doesn't really understand. But
Cool.
the timer went off, so it must be 9. Must be time to go.
So in that, it can straight up then just continue to come from her worry.
Right.
It can continue to come from her worry about missing the bus and what happens there, and missing her routine. Because depending on the handicap, there are certain ones where within the mental handicap, you miss one piece of the routine and it's a freak out. It's a total panic freak out. And without that, you're totally fine. But you miss a piece, and it's hard. It's really hard for that person. So it might be something on your mind, and you know that he's got the timer on, and as soon as it goes off, it's like, oh, and you just keep reminding him. You just continue to remind him and remind yourself so you don't forget.
That's great. I think that's so awesome. And that's a part of her backstory as well, is the worry about time is because she's missed the bus before, and there was a repercussion for that.
There we go. I love that. Yeah. Love that. Cool. So it's so interesting because we spend this time working this one little thing, but when we solve one piece of the puzzle, so many other things fall into place.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Cool. Let me see where we're at here. Let's go one more little bit from the top. I just want to explore one more exercise that you guys, because I know you guys will do the work in your rehearsals, right? So I just want to throw one more exercise at you that you could explore with as you come into to your rehearsals this week.
Okay.
So here's what it is. I would like for you to do a fast version. You can both just be right where you are, but fully in character. Just one right to the next, off of each other, full energy, feed off each other's energy, and I want to see what that does. Again, it literally might be a total bomb, okay? But my gut's just telling me to try this thing, and so I want to try it. Okay. Big smile. Your face should hurt, Dakota. Your face should literally, when you play Norman, if your face doesn't hurt afterwards, you failed.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Norman.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Norman.
Hi, Sheila. My name is Norman Volonsky. Welcome to my home. Take a seat.
Your home is really nice, Norman. It looks cozy.
It used to be better when we had those little rugs. Arnold's got them hid.
Arnold. He's not there, is he?
Oh, boy. That's all we need. Oh, boy.
I got to get off at 9. The bus comes then. It's 7:30 now.
See this? It's a timer. It times eggs and things. I'll just set it and you won't be late.
It's 7:30 now. I gotta get off at 9.
Have to do is set it on the 9s. Don't worry. This works like a butler or somebody.
Did you get the flowers I picked for you? I put them outside on my way home yesterday from the bus stop.
You're welcome very much. They're pretty. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
You got a jar or something to put them in?
Yes. Okay, great. So this did pull out some cool moments. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
so when you go back, watch that. You could do that for the whole scene. You obviously wouldn't do it that fast, but there are some moments where you would. There are some moments where that level of speed should sort of be there, and at the very least, that fire between the two characters should be there. So what happened was some of the comedy got lifted up because you guys fully understood what was going on and were feeding off of each other more. I think as actors, sometimes we just pause because we know there's some sort of pause between the lines instead of doing it purely based on the fact that our partner makes us or our character makes us. The way that they are makes us have that pause. So, like, in that beginning, when you had full energy, Dakota, and you're like, big old smile, and Shay's character can't help but smile back. She can't help it. And then when she smiles at you, that's a huge win. You got to smile. And then that makes you smile more, makes her smile more. That is a perfect example of how an entire scene should go, just within varying different emotions. So that's what I want you guys to explore this week, is creating that and pulling that fire out of this scene, because there is just so much comedy from this truth of watching them emotionally go back and forth with each other. Okay, cool. Good work, guys.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Shay, if you wouldn't mind, oh, hey, if you wouldn't mind setting us up for our next scene.
Yeah.
Great work.
I believe.
I got V and
Brian,
Kimberly.
could you remind me who's
yeah,
next?
V and Kimberly.
Got it.
My bad.
No, that's okay.
It's really not. It's not okay.
You know what, Brian? Just go home.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm going to just get out of here.
Thanks for the critique, Brian. You kicked butt.
Of course. Thank you. All right. You guys ready? So fill me in real quick before we start with the situation.
So we're a couple of like really amateur bank robbers. But we got our times a little mixed up. So she's already at the bank ready, and I'm still here at like my house getting ready. So, yeah.
Love it. Okay.
It's all kind of falling apart.
I love that. Okay, whenever you guys are ready, you can begin.
What's up?
Well, shit.
What are we supposed to do now?
I don't know. You're the one with the ideas.
I don't have ideas. I have revelations.
You got any now that may be useful?
No, not that comes to mind.
Great.
You go first?
I don't want to, but I have to now.
Is that the best plan you can come up with?
This current moment, yes.
Wow, you're really something.
What's that supposed to mean?
Shh. You know what it means.
We really did it with this one, didn't we?
Yep.
Okay. You go first then?
What? I can't go first. You have to go first.
But you said you would. You go first and then I go, remember?
Not anymore. And forgive me for not jumping aboard your half-baked idea.
Hey, we're in this together. No matter what.
Okay, fine. You go down, I go down.
Okay. Then you go down first and then I'll go down like we planned.
That's not the plan.
Shh. We're getting off track.
All right. You take this one, I'll take the next one.
Okay.
Scene. Hey. Okay, tell me about how you felt.
I think it went well.
Yeah, I mean, 1 week and we take it and we already added our props and added a lot to the scene. This is a great example of just how much those small little props can add, right? It gave moments for us to go away from each other and into the things we're doing. So I want you both to remember this for when those things aren't there. And this is for everybody in class. Like if we are delivering a monologue, let's say, or doing a scene like this and you just have a reader, all this stuff, the times you looked away, the times you did things like that, you'll have to recreate those without the stuff. There's just something to realizing the power. Once it's there, you realize how often we don't just stare right at each other. And that's what's really cool. I really believed the two of you like going back and forth in conversation. So now what I want to dive into, we might be able to add in some little angles here and different things, but your props did a lot for this. I mean, they did a lot for the scene. And so there'll be moments where we can do things like exit screen and come back into screen and things like that. But let's start off with just working some of the emotions between the two characters. Let's start to work that very beginning part of the piece, and we'll start there and build upon it. I think the thing we need to find the most, and as you rehearse this week, I would do some really fast rehearsals, like what you just saw with Shay and Dakota at the end, like quick back and forth. And here's why. For the pacing, we have to speed up and then we slow down. I need to know that you're able to go right to the next line. There were a couple times I think I caught you guys still thinking of the next line. And I don't know that that's the case. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if
it was
that,
for me anyway.
Yeah. If that happens, even for a second, that takes us out of it, right? So work like crazy on that because this is such a cool idea. And again, all the work you've put into the props and this whole character point of view is going to be so awesome and so unique. Okay? So let's start from the top and I'll do a little stop and go with you guys.
Oh, what's up?
Well, shit.
What are we supposed to do now?
I don't know. You're the one with the IDs.
I don't get ideas. I get revelations.
You got any now that may be useful?
Not that come to mind, no.
Wait.
Good. Let's take it back one more time from the top. By the way, is that a real book?
No.
You guys, that is so funny. Okay? So audience, hello. That's what goes into the work. When you create something like that, it automatically sucks us in. That was a huge laugh for me. Huge laugh. You probably heard me through your sound, just like it was huge because I'm going, did they make that? Like, that's so awesome. And it brought us into the world with you. Okay, let's start again from the top. I have a couple thought life things I'm going to walk you through. Who calls who?
I call her.
Okay, so be doing what you're doing, Kim.
Oh, what's up?
Well, shit.
What are we supposed to do now?
I don't know. You're the one with the IDs.
I don't have ideas. I have revelations.
Got any now that may be useful?
Not that come to mind, no.
Okay, let's go back to I don't have the revelations, that line.
I don't have ideas. I have revelations.
Back to your stuff. Right away, Kim, back to your stuff. I have revelations.
You got any now that may be useful?
Okay, now what's the purpose of that line, V?
I'm basically, I don't know what I'm doing, so.
That's right. So I need you to come at her a little more. Like that's like a braggy, like I got this, and then it's like, well, are you gonna? Is there anything that I'm at the bank? So you got to let that thought life come in. That's that speed thing. A line like that needs to come right in. Well, do you have any that are like helpful, like right at her right then to pull her attention back to you?
Okay.
Okay. So let's take it back from your line, Kim. Okay. And actually, let's go one before that line.
I don't have ideas. I have revelations.
You got any now that may be useful?
Not that come to mind, no.
Great.
You go first?
I don't want to, but I have to now.
Is that the best plan you can come up with?
At this moment, yes. Yes.
Oh, you're really something.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know what it means.
You
Good.
really did.
So now when you watch this back, you'll see this, Kim. Okay, when you're going back to her too much. Okay,
Yeah.
V, really good looking around and noticing that you are here in this space and pulling her attention. So it's kind of opposite. Okay, and really actually it's not for both of you. You know, you're giving attention when you need to, but right now you're continuing to go back at her, Kim, without her demanding your attention to do so. Right? So there's two reasons to go back. One, you have to get her attention for some reason. Or two, she pulls yours. It's one of the two. And so you got to trust your gut. And if neither of those happens, there's no reason for you to stop. What are you doing over there?
Just organizing and cleaning my weapons, which are not really weapons.
Perfect. So you would be doing that, right? And by the way, okay, watch this, okay? So we're having the same scene. Let's improvise because I don't know the actual lines. And just be talking with me, B, about freaking out, and I'll throw some lines back at you. And you won't hear them as well because I'm not facing the mic, but just listen. Okay, let's go. Yeah.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah.
I was confused. You got any ideas now that may be useful?
Not really.
Great.
I mean, you can go in first, I guess.
I don't want to, but I have to now.
I mean, if you can come up with a better idea, sure, you could do that, but...
That's the best I can do.
Well, that sucks. Like there are times when you'll come back to her. There are times where you'll like want her to know your answer, and sometimes you'll just answer not looking at her. It just kind of depends, and you'll feel that out between the characters and what the situation is, and decide when she would want to and when she's cleaning these things off and dealing with it. Okay, and yeah, we'll figure some of that out. And I would use like something simple, Kim, so that you can actually do it. I would probably just grab some kitchen knives, like something like that. Be careful, but like something simple like that would look in that way. And be setting yourself up to do that. And it could also just be other things like planned stuff, like random rope or like whatever, like different things that would be needed for a heist, a case that's got stuff in it. And honestly, if she's by herself and now you have to get there, which I believe is the case, either way, right? You're still going to pull this off. You would start to speed up, which then again gives you a reason to not look back.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about finding the reasons and the whys for when we look and when we don't look. Okay? Any questions on that? So I want you to explore it this week. I want you to film it, and I recommend doing it within this format if you can. So in the teen class, I had somebody go, yeah, I use the iPhone. Somebody else was like, I use House Party, which I hate. They did those things, right? And so I was like, well, that's cool, but the problem is you're not using the same medium you're going to use, and so it's going to look and feel different. So I recommend for everybody in class doing it within this type of format, using this, like creating your own Zoom link and using that to make it happen. Okay? Cool. Good work, guys. All right. The next two are Brooke and Andrea. I almost said Book. Hey, Book.
Hello.
Hello. While we're waiting for your partner, is there a captain in there by chance?
He is not.
Okay,
This one
all right.
time.
Darn it. Okay, cool. No worries. Get in it. I'm not upset about it.
Hey, I heard you talking about Shay's dog. Can't betray Captain like that.
Whoa. Shay's dog came first, okay? Like,
Okay, whatever. My dog's older.
we're not going to have this discussion, okay? It's not happening. It's not happening. I was so hoping. Hold on, stay right there. I was so hoping that you were going to show up, Shay. I was like dying for you to just pop in. Okay. Yes, Shay. Good job. And you're on mute, so we can't hear you. So You're
I
the one-
said, Brooke, this is not the time or place, but me and you can have a little one-on-one later.
Ooh.
You know,
Brooke's in
I
trouble.
don't really want to talk.
Live audience, Brooke's in trouble.
I don't feel like
That's
talking
blue.
to shit right now. Okay.
That's
Look
Blue
at
down
Blue.
there.
Blueby is super sad.
Okay.
You
Well,
really hurt Blue's feelings.
For dog.
All right, interlude over. Thanks for my cameo.
Thanks, Shay. That was great. All right, girls, walk me through your situation real quick.
So we had scene 2, and it was, we tried reading it, and the first couple times it felt like they were talking about a piece of art, but I think we decided that that was too easy.
Okay.
So we decided that Brooke's sister recently had a child, and she loves kids, and she loves this baby so much, and I hate kids so much, and she loves this kid, and she wants me to like love this kid, and I'm so not having it. And yeah, that's basically our scene.
Okay. All right. You guys can start whenever you're ready.
so, what do you think?
I think it's great. Really, really great.
I'm serious. I really want to know. I want your honest opinion.
Okay, honestly, I don't really know what I'm looking at.
It's not supposed to be something you look at. It's something you.
What?
Okay, come on. It's something that you know.
I'm lost. You have no idea what you're talking about.
You know, you've got a lot of nerve.
I'm sorry. I really am. I didn't mean to like offend you or anything. I just want you to tell me what I'm supposed to say or do or feel or whatever.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You never listen to me.
Okay, I'm here. I'm listening. Let's just try again.
Okay. Look at it, but not too hard. Just focus on one part, and just,
I don't know.
Okay, you're not even pretending to try.
Okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't. I don't know how I'm supposed to.
You should just go.
You go. I'm not going.
Okay, can you just try one more time, please? I promise I'll stay out of it.
Okay, fine. Just give me a minute to,
Okay, do you see it?
I sure do.
That's awesome. Okay, let's talk through it a little bit.
Okay.
I love this idea. So, did you guys imagine yourselves in the same space?
What do you mean?
Like same place or two different places?
I mean, I think we kind of figured like we were in the same place, yeah.
I was thinking baby shower.
Okay.
If
baby
it's like
shower.
a newborn kid.
Okay, cool. So there's something interesting. I'd like to play it, and it may not work, and we may end up in the same room because both things can work. About virtually doing a baby shower. And baby shower is great, right? So there's like literally, I know a friend who just did this, right? So
Really?
Yeah, because I mean they're gonna have their baby shower. Or are you just gonna be like, no, like it's gonna happen? So she
I mean, if it works.
created a super cool environment. Actually, there was like games on there and like a bunch of cool things, and where you could write a spot and videos of them like when like just of their past stuff and when they found out, like pictures, like so there was this sort of interactive setting, right? And so there may be this moment where you guys have a chance in this one-on-one type format, and it's just clear that she doesn't like it, right? That she doesn't like kids, but you want her to. So then we have to figure out why. Why would you want her to care about the kid? Why would you want that to happen?
Like, are you asking me why?
Why, Brooke? Why do you want that to happen? Why
Well, I mean, I feel like because like we're we're such good friends, and like this is like my niece, so like why wouldn't you, why aren't you liking it, or why don't you like her?
Okay, right. So there's that friendship that builds on that. So I'd like to heighten something here, because it's entirely possible, okay, that you could have a kid.
Yeah.
Don't. But you could, right? You fit an age where you technically could. So if it's your kid, I think it's going to heighten it a little more.
Okay.
If it's your kid and you guys are really good friends and she doesn't want to go near your baby or like see the baby, and there's going to be tension there.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird because she's like, and if you were in person, you'd want her to hold your baby and she wouldn't want to, and that'd be weird.
Yeah.
That would be weird and hard on a friendship. And so,
that would be, yeah.
So that's a setting I want to play into. Let's go from the beginning. Andrea, too much eye contact.
Okay.
So like right at the beginning, it was like right here, and it was like you were like really listening. This is a great thing for everybody. Okay, everybody watching. When you're lying about something, when you're not telling the truth, what's the last thing you do?
Make eye contact.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So you can figure out within your setting what that looks like for you, but the last thing we would do is stare at the person. So you ask me a question here. Just go ahead and ask me anything, Andrea.
Are you a dog or a cat person?
I am a dog person.
If I
knew you were a cat person and I knew you weren't gonna like or a dog person, and I don't like dogs, and I'm trying to lie about it, I'm not gonna be like, I am a dog person. Yep, I love them, because it's gonna be so clear to you. Now it's still clear because that's how Brooke responds with what she responds with, but it's you're trying to hide it. Okay, let's start from the top and see what that does.
Okay. So, what do you think?
I think it's great. Really, really great.
I'm serious. I really want to know. I want your honest opinion.
Okay, honestly,
Think about it. You're staring too much.
I don't really know what I'm looking at.
It's not supposed to be something you look at. It's something that you know.
What?
Oh, come on. Like it's something that you...
Okay, yeah, I'm lost. I don't know what you're talking about.
You've got a lot of nerve.
I'm sorry. I really am. I didn't mean to offend you or anything. It's just... I guess I just need you to tell me what I'm supposed to do or say or feel or whatever.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You never listen to me.
Okay, fine. I'm here. I'm listening. Let's just try it again.
Okay. Look at it, but not too hard. Just focus in on one part, and
I don't know.
You're not even pretending to try.
Okay, I can't do this anymore. I don't know how to...
You should just go then.
You go. I'm not going.
Okay, good. So we're starting to find it a little more. You feel that? So,
yeah.
Andrea, even more, we need to look into thought life. Okay, so two things. These are two pieces of homework for you guys before we start doing some blocking. Love that you use the phone. That's awesome. I can see the exploration there. Is your phone just sideways, Andrea, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Brooke, I'd like you to do sideways also and practice this week and get comfortable with that. Anybody who can go sideways, it's better because you see more of the frame. And it's just better in general. It's super awkward to hold because it's not like we normally do that in FaceTimes. But it looks way better for you on camera. You look better. So as we build this, okay, Brooke, I need... Hey, there's the captain. Captain. Hey. As we build this, I want you to... That thing is way too big for what you're trying to create. Like, it's a giant old baby.
Watermelon, but like I ate the watermelon.
So you could do that, or you could just order a doll online and probably get there by next week. Probably.
That's true.
So like, that's what I would do personally. I'd look into something like that, and if you can't, then yeah, you makeshift it the best you can. But we got time, so we got a whole week.
Yeah.
So that means right after class today, look at that and see what you can find. Okay?
Okay.
That'll make a huge difference. I like the blocking. Love the character work. We're going to keep exploring it next week. Andrea, when you're thinking, you need to be oh, there you are.
My phone's low battery. I'm sorry.
It's
It
okay.
like cut off for a
I've
while.
done that so many times. It's like that. You're watching me do it right now, you know? In life, where we don't know what to do, we can't keep staring. We can't be in this space. And so it got a little better at the beginning, but for every line, really, she's got to think about how she wants to respond because she does care about her friend. And so I was catching you getting stuck in that spot where you were getting starey with her still, even in the middle. And on lines where you say like, I don't know. Like that first part of the line, I'm thinking it through and then I close right here. Right? I close on you and on you here in this case, right? And so find some of those moments, fill it with thought life. Like if we look at a line like I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Right? That's in there, right? Do you remember it?
Oh, no. I don't think
the wrong
so.
one? Oh,
Unless I forgot something.
I might be.
There's a part where she says, "I'm lost."
Seriously, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. Seriously, I don't know what you're talking about. Right? So I'm lost. I'm like, as she starts thinking that, seriously, I don't know what you're talking about. Like she's thinking about it. She has to be, because she is trying to find the answer here. She's trying to figure out like what is so important about this. I don't get it, because to her it doesn't matter. I don't get it, you know? So we have to watch you and your mind rattle with trying to figure out her mind and become friends in that moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I would both dive into thought life, practice that, talk about it. Talk about each feeling and how you want the other character to affect you. So literally stop when you're rehearsing at moments and go like, yeah, I felt like, honestly, I wasn't mad at you there. Like, Brooke, you should say that to her when she didn't upset you.
Okay.
And you should stop and figure out why and how you can make that happen. When you feel like she didn't do the same to you, you'll do the same, Andrea. You're like I feel like here it should be like this, and let's explore trying to find that together. And in your rehearsal,
there was a part too on like her last line where she says like, "I sure do," like she sees it, and Captain, what are you doing? There was like in that part we were debating whether or not she should make it as sarcastic as she did, because we kind of debated like, was it like "I sure do" or was it like "I sure do" like if she genuinely does now, you know? Like we were going back and forth on that.
So I would let that build on the thought life of the moments before and the new choices we've made about it being your baby.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I really do. I think that changed the whole game.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out, Andrea, why you don't like kids. Like, for real. You have to have a deep passion for why, and you need to know what it is. There are girls out there who are straight up like, no. Who, like, in a class, if I said, "Oh, look at the baby," they'd be like, eh. I got some other people who are like, "Hey, look at the dog," and they'd be like, eh. Look at the cat, eh. Like, it's depending on your personality, and there's a history behind that. So you need to know what that is and discover that this week, and I think it's going to add so much to the scene.
There was a part of us originally too that we were trying to figure out if maybe it wasn't that she doesn't like kids, but it's like she doesn't really understand like what a baby is. So she's kind of like, no, like I don't know what I'm looking at. Like, what is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like she's not like grossed out by it, but she's like, what is it? You know?
So that for me is too beyond reality, because pretty much everybody knows what a baby looks like.
Yeah.
So
I had a good idea just now.
Yeah, so explore. That's your job this week. All right, I got to move to the next scene, but that's your job this week. Explore.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good job. Explore. I don't know why I said it like that. It just sounded really fun. Explore. We're moving on to our last scene here. And my last sip of water. Hello, Jenna.
Hi.
Where is Nick? Ah, here he is. Nice. Oh my gosh. Can't wait to see this. Give me a quick, like 30-second, like what's going on.
Like, okay. Do you want to go, Nick, or should I?
You can go, Jenna. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so we decided that this is a sort of breakup, I guess. At least my character thinks it's like the finalization of a breakup, and his isn't quite there yet. And our backstory is that they were together for a while. He's a little bit a little bit older, but he doesn't act like it. He's like really content with staying put in life, and she wants to keep like moving forward, and they're just realize they're not compatible in life anymore. And so they've had the same fight over and over and over again, and it's just not working. So they're breaking up. And then the reason Nick is wearing a pineapple shirt is because we decided that Nick's job that he's like content with is he works at like a fun zone on a boardwalk. And she used to work there with him like in high school, but now she's like, it's past college now, and she's like she's a bigger job now in the area. Like she's a marine biologist, and they're just like,
I love that. I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. This is perfect. All right. Whenever you guys are ready, you can start.
And we're in South Carolina, by the way.
Oh, South Carolina. Got it.
It's really good to see you.
Well, it's really good to see you too. Actually, I'm surprised you showed up.
Why would you be surprised? I told you I'd be here.
Well, I don't know. With everything, I just figured,
I understand. I mean, it is weird, but it'll be good to get closure for both sides.
Wait, what?
What do you mean, what?
Nothing.
No, what? What did you think this talk was going to be about?
Hell, I don't know, Stephanie. I thought we was going to work things out. Try again?
Try what out? You can't seriously think we're going to do this again. Were you awake during the last conversation we had?
I thought we had moved past it.
You thought we had moved past it?
You mean move past the entire last year?
All right, look. I know things have been rocky and at times a bit unstable, but I've left that period of my life behind.
No clarification needed there.
How many times do I have to apologize to you? I mean, how long are you going to hold this against me?
You're not understanding this, are you? We are never, under any circumstances, going to do this again. You threw any chance of that ever happening away when you did what you did.
I'm not that person anymore. I've grown and I've changed, and I've really taken time to figure out what I want in life.
We literally had this conversation a week ago. I thought we were on the same page.
I know, Steph, but I've transformed since then. I wish you would just reconsider.
I'm gonna stop you right there in the slight case that you may spew any more bullshit from your mouth.
Stephanie,
we don't even know what we're doing. How am I supposed to trust you?
I'm asking you. No, I'm begging you. Please, trust me now. Are you ready? Let's give this one more shot.
One more shot.
Scene.
No. Just kidding. I did that last night too. Good job. Huh. Okay. So what did you do, Nick?
I forgot a line.
No. What did you do to piss her off so much? Like last year, what happened?
Oh. You do it.
Was there something? I thought
Oh yeah, you did something. You did. You had to.
We didn't want it to be like. This script kind of makes it seem like he was unfaithful to her, but we didn't want it to be like. I mean, maybe this is the wrong choice. But we didn't want it to be so stereotypical that he just like went and slept with somebody. We decided that since they met at the fun zone, that's like their place, and like right when they first ended it, like the first thing that he did was take another girl to that spot, which like probably on his end wasn't like he wasn't meaning to disrespect her like that, but to her that was like, even though he didn't necessarily get physical with her, that was like a sacred ground for her, and he violated that, I guess. I don't know, like it was too soon for her to see that.
So
but we could make it more.
Yeah. So he just did it. He just brought somebody else to the work with him, or he brought a date?
Like I did it so fast that there wasn't even time. Like I didn't even care. Like we just ended it, and I just brought another woman out there, like whatever, you know.
So when you say ended it, you guys broke up when she left? Is that?
Yeah, we stopped.
You broke up when she left, or she just left the job, and so you brought someone else in?
It kind of.
No. Like, no. How do I explain this? He didn't bring. Okay, maybe I heard it wrong, but he didn't bring someone else in to work there with him. He just brought someone there, like not as him working, just brought someone there to bring them there. Like, I guess as a date.
So while you were still dating him, he brought someone else there?
No, it was like right after our first like talk of breakup.
Okay. So we've talked about breaking up because you're leaving, because you're going to, where did you say you went to be a marine biologist?
I got a job as a marine biologist in the area, and it just made my character realize that like he doesn't have any desire to move up like she does.
Okay, cool. So we can even build on this in some ways, like she went to start doing an internship on that or wherever, and it should be further away, I think. Like it shouldn't be like around the corner, you know? And that adds a lot of depth to it, because then all of a sudden he could make some really bad choices all of a sudden. And I just want to jump on, it doesn't have to be the cheating. Like it really doesn't. But that kind of is in a sense. Like he didn't cheat, but he just moved on right away. And so I like that choice. That's great. I want you to keep that one, but for the audience, I want you to know there's nothing wrong with taking what is called a stereotypical choice. Because it's not if you add depth to the choice. Because how many movies have been made about that?
Mm-hmm.
Thousands, because each one of them is unique, and the story is unique, and the characters are unique. And so in that sense, it's not stereotypical. So that's more just as a lesson for the class. I like yours. I like the idea of there was this mini breakup, but they didn't really like, it had been like a short period. But then if that's the case, then questions keep coming up. So why are they back on the phone again? Like what would be a purpose that these two would now be back on the phone?
Right. So we were actually, the vision we had, we were meeting at the boardwalk. So I was sitting here, and she came up to me and said, "It was nice to see you." Kind of like we set up a meeting, and then
for closure.
You set up this meeting in person at the boardwalk for closure.
That's what Stephanie did, but I was not aware that there was going to be closure. I thought that we were going to get back together.
Okay, cool. So Nick, you screwed up, right?
Yeah.
So there is that sense of like, so it doesn't again have to be cheating, but that's the idea. He messed up big time. You guys probably weren't even broken up. Probably it was discussion, maybe. You got in a fight, and that happened, right? So, like, that would be a major call for just splitting. And then, for some reason, when we come back here, you have to have that kind of love for him that makes you decide at the end to say yes, even though you shouldn't, right? This scene reminds me, I'm forgetting the name of it, in Masterclass. Anyway, I'll send it to you. But there's the two characters, and they meet up. It was in this last one. They meet up and...
Interrogation.
Thank you, Interrogation. They haven't seen each other in forever, right? And he had cheated on her. Again, you go stereotypical, but there is nothing stereotypical about that scene. Right now, it's Ian and Saya working that scene, and it's spectacular. And they're working through the fact that she's gotten better with her life, and he hasn't. And unfortunately, at the end, she gets dragged down by him and falls back into the pit. Which, by the way, if you go sleep with him, if you go end up with him, you're back in the pit. You're back in the pit, and you got out. You got out of this toxic relationship that was messed up and wrong, and you get sucked back in somehow. And with that will come all the other choices that are very positive in your life slowly. You know, in the Interrogation, it's that she stopped smoking. Guarantee you she starts smoking again. She was running, she'll stop running. Like, she will bring herself down here instead of continuing to rise up. So I want you, and I know I'm doing a lot of talking here because I know you guys, again, will do the work. I want you to dive into discovery mode and figure out all the whys behind this to make it make sense. So the idea of getting closure, that's nice, but like, why? Like, if you've been apart for so long, right? You had this huge fight. I don't necessarily believe that a year later you'd want to just have closure. Like, there's got to be something else behind it too. There's got to be this like for you then maybe, Jenna, it might be you came in with the full intention of just releasing the past because you can't stop thinking about this stuff and let him know that, like, because maybe he kept texting you or keeps like reaching out to you, and you just you can't have that in your life anymore. But when you're in the room with him, it gets to you. That's an example. Like, you need to know the why for you being in the room. Nick, you need to know that you want her back so bad. And the why behind that. Like, what pit have you fallen back into? I think she, in your life, in your mind, is the one that got away. Like, you messed up big time. You messed up big time. So fighting to get her back will be a huge part of this, okay? So you got to dive into the why of that and where he's gone and what he's done and explore, okay?
Right.
And the last thing is, if we both grew up in the same place and Nick has an accent like that, you have to have one too, Jenna.
Okay. Well, that's what we talked about. So Nick wanted to practice it, but I have not done that accent ever. I could try, but it wasn't like originally part of the plan.
So, you know, Jenna, you're a great actress. You've been working super hard with us for a long time, and you've grown so much. And so at this point, like, throwing a challenge is great. So, but if it doesn't get there and you don't get the accent there, then don't do it with the accent, because then it's fake and it's not going to work. But throw the challenge on yourself. I say, why not? You know, or change the situation, or go, Nick, you were there and you guys met because you transferred there in high school senior year. And
we did have an explanation. Yeah. We had an explanation originally from there. Or my other thought was that after she moved away, maybe she lost her accent. She went up north or something. But originally, she was not originally from there, but I was.
So again, so we start questioning. That's great. Yes, that would make sense. That you've been there forever, and that's the case. You are older, right? And so if that's the backstory within that, cool. That would totally work, and that would be true that he would be more that way. You might have a little bit of one, just a teeny tiny bit from the time you were there. Probably not. But play around with that. Research it. Research how long it takes to develop one if you live somewhere. Like, but seriously, if you're surrounded, think about this. When I do an accent somewhere, or somebody else does, you can't help but like do that accent a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's just what happens when I go visit my family in New York for an extended period of time. It just happens. You leave with a slight accent.
Exactly. So she probably would a little bit. It wouldn't be like his is. It wouldn't be thick, but it would be sneaking in a little. And so, yeah, so those are the little things I'd like you guys to work on. And I'm super excited for this. Yeah, Nick.
So neither of us were really sure if we can rewrite the script. So we really tried to stick to what was written. Was that, or could we rewrite it?
We are
I'm
going to
not sure.
start with rewrites for sure. Rewrites are going to be a part of that. People are going to get to start adding rewrites and sort of creating their own version of it. I'm not sure if we're going to add that into next week. If there are little moments that you're curious about that you think might really help, then send us an email and we'll see if that's something that's like going to pull away or change. But I know we wanted to spend a whole week sort of talking about the changes that you can adapt to and build on. Because here's the thing about Ambiguous, and I'm out of time here, so I'll close on this and then bring everybody in. The beauty of Ambiguous is we don't know all the situations, right? But all the feelings that you need to experience are sort of written in there, and we need to see them all. We need to experience them all, and our minds will fill in the blanks of the situation. And ideally, you've done so well that my mind will go into what the situation is, not exactly, but the idea of it, like who they are to each other, what's going on. I won't know all the specifics that you guys have created. Those will get written in later. But right now, without all that, I should be able to fully tell what you're experiencing as a character. That's the beauty of the Ambiguous scene. Okay? Cool, guys. Good work. That's awesome. Good work on the accent, Nick. Cool.
Thank you.
Cool challenge there. All right, let's bring everybody back in real quick. Well, hello, Shay.
Hi.
Do you have any specific announcements or anything, Shay, before I close?
Yes, just wanted to tell you guys that we are officially opening the studio back up on June 1. So just to let you guys know, because you haven't been, not that you guys look at your calendar as much as I do, but because you guys haven't been notified about, I cannot find light today, because you haven't been notified about this stuff yet, but we do not have class the first week of June. So the first week of class back in the studio and virtually will be you guys will be Tuesday the